Oh, 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 oh. I don't know what that be or what that.
That came from you and Jasmine. That Yeah. Anyway.
Yes,
What's
honey.
up,
What's the tis naive?
I'm tell you something. My belt hurt because my stomach too big. And that's just that on that.
Wow.
Yeah, my operation. I'm gonna be skinny by Thanksgiving is a fail. You know, the thing is, I'm not even fat. I just am. You know what I'm saying? Disproportion.
Dang. Well, you already pescatarian. Why don't you do pescatarian keto? That's what I'm on.
What is it when you against sugar? Because I can't.
None of that.
Leave it alone.
You just leave all that.
I can't leave it alone.
Sugar legit turns into fat.
I know.
You should leave it alone.
I can't help it. It's crack.
Or just get rid of it, or do it like just have a day where you can have it, just one day.
But it's always free at my job.
That's the problem. You gotta have self-control.
You're right though. I have it deep down inside of me. But you know, when I had a job where I was more active on my feet, this stuff was not a problem.
Heard you. Yeah, me too. Honestly, because I remember when we both worked at Six Flags, I lost so much weight because I had to do a lot of walking. And you know what's crazy? Even when I was working at Mac, before I had a car, before I got my car that I got now, I had to ride the train. I was skinnier because I used to have to ride the train.
Yeah, and when I was living in California, I didn't have a car. I lost 30 pounds in 3 months.
Maybe I need to park my car. I need to park my car anyway. The way I'll keep getting pulled over.
I need to join the people in my neighborhood that walk around the subdivision for real, because they be out there. But yeah, it's really honestly, I'm ashamed of myself. I'm disappointed for real.
Don't be,
because I am way better than this.
Start over.
I know, but I've been starting over for years. My thing is, I know the stuff ain't no good for me, but I be like, ooh, but it
just tastes so good.
And that's what I do. I'll get something and I'll be like, oh my God, why did I get ice cream? This is bad for me. Let me just eat the whole container so that way it'll be gone and that way I won't have any ice cream to tempt me.
That's not cool.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, wow.
That's how my mind be working. Like I had some leftover on Halloween candy and I was like, let me just eat all of it. That way tomorrow I won't have any candy to get.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I have a problem. And then I just laughed and my darn arms just started to flab. I thought I was about to take off and fly.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
anyway,
I haven't really been eating no sweet stuff.
Okay, congrats.
I like ice cream and stuff like that and cookies, but my thing is Debbie cakes. I ain't had none in so long. I forgot what they taste like, which is good. But I can't even believe at 30 years old I still like Debbie cakes.
Yeah, you need to grow up.
I know, but they be so good. But the devil himself decided to put a freaking insomnia cookies on my street. I said, why
on
would
your
you
street,
do that?
like in your neighborhood? No, I know what you mean.
It's like 8 minutes from my house.
How long ago they opened that?
First of all, they was building it for like this whole year. So I'm like, oh, they ain't gonna open it because obviously it would have been open. It don't take that long to build it.
Yeah.
So then randomly I went to this little pizza shop over there near my house and it was open. Like for business.
Please don't go. And please don't get me 2 chocolate chip cookies and maybe a peanut butter depending on what they having up there.
I was just like, wow. Dang. But yeah, I haven't.
That's how I feel about piece of cake.
And it's a piece of cake. Yeah, it's more about my house.
See, I used to go to piece of cake it's so, let me tell you something, for real. As a child, dental hygiene was not a priority. That's a fact. My mom always take me to the gas. You know how we used to go to the gas station every morning and get all this candy.
Yeah, I remember your mama told me one time to get lemon heads to cure my sore throat.
You keep saying
or a cold. I would never forget that. And you know what's so crazy? I used to be like, she right, because on the box it say that it's made with real lemon juice. And then she was like, don't get the ones in a box. Get the big one, the one that you gotta like.
Let me tell you something. My teeth, at 30 years old, I'm paying for all that.
Oh my God!
And I think that's one of the reasons why I'm so addicted to sugar for real, because I just can't. Like, it was my breakfast for years.
Yeah.
I didn't go to the dentist for the first time, and I am ashamed at this. But I was 18 years old, and then after that, I was like 24, and because I didn't even realize the importance of it, I just didn't think about it. Like, I knew that there was a dentist, but I didn't understand the severity of cavities and all that crazy stuff. And now I'm over here getting implants. So yeah,
it's also important to find a good dentist because
shout out to J&J Family Dentistry on Cascade.
Shout them out.
I made them a highlight back when we used to do those.
I might need to look into them. I ended up going to the dentist. I used to go to the dentist a lot as a child, like a lot. So
congrats. Wow.
When
Privilege rubbing in the face of the disparity.
No, but
I'm just kidding.
As I got older, like when I turned 18, I didn't go to the dentist up until I was 25. From 18 to 25, like that's a long time to not have gone to the dentist.
Yeah.
And so the only reason why I went to the dentist is because I decided to get braces, and before you get them on, you have to get your teeth cleaned. You have to get an x-ray just to make sure your teeth are good. Mm-hmm. And so when I went to the dentist, the lady was just like, "Are you sure you haven't went to the dentist in a long time?" I'm like, "Yeah." She was like, "You have like awesome teeth." And in my head, I'm like, my gums be bleeding sometimes. So how are my teeth perfect?
But I don't think that necessarily means your gum. That's common. It's not that it's like, because I don't know what it's called, but I had the same issue. Oh, okay. Yeah,
which is bad.
Oh. I thought it was just common, and that's why I said, okay, anyway.
But, yeah, she was like, your teeth, she's like, your teeth are in, like, really perfect condition. I'm like, what? So she just cleaned them, and then I went and got my braces put on. Now, fast forward to maybe, like, 3 years after that. Mind you, my routine doesn't change. It changed a little bit because I had braces, so I had to clean my teeth more, but I still do the same routine that I did. Well, at the time I did. And I went to the dentist. I went to a black dentist. And child, when I tell you, this lady told me everything was wrong with my teeth. She said I had too many teeth in my mouth.
Oh,
Lord. She said that my fillings was gone. All this stuff. And she was right, because recently one of my teeth in the back have chipped because my filling came out. Mm. And so now I'm like, dang, I'm trying to find me a good dentist that's going to take care of me that ain't going to be. Like, I'm not scared of the dentist.
Yeah, me
do
either.
What you got to do.
That's what I tell them.
It's like, them nerves in your teeth are not to be messed with.
If you ain't never been woke up by a toothache, I'm pretty sure you'd rather have a baby. On God. On God. I really, really love J&J Family Dentistry on Cascade. So Iris, who used to work with us, she put me on.
Oh, okay.
And honestly, I love them. And aside from them being obviously black owned, they are run and operated by a husband and wife. Very, very professional. Very professional. Super cool. I mean, for real. Like, it's like home in there. Everybody in there chilling. It's super cool. And I don't mean chilling like not on the job, but I mean patience. No, it's just a super cool environment. And they also are really close friends with Jamie Foxx, which makes them look cooler when you go inside. Anyway, but some people in my family go also. And not just when I've gone to like Great Expressions and Coast Dental and all the other stuff. But when I went to J&J, it was a completely different, like right away it was different. Like everybody just is super cool. So for me, it's all about personality and professionalism, and I get all that. And I will drive 45 minutes every 6 months for my teeth cleaning and whatever else I need to get done to go to them.
I know that's right.
Amen. I hate that. I remember when remember in elementary school they would have that little dentist bus.
I ain't never go on there.
Yeah, me either. My mama wouldn't let me because she said she didn't know what kind of equipment they use. Yeah. I'm like, but mama, I ain't never been to the dentist before.
Yeah, I ain't never go on there. And
my brother went though.
Oh wow!
You see what I'm saying?
I never went on that or the glasses, the Helen Keller thing. I never got glasses.
Oh, it was Helen Keller? They know they wrong for that.
You remember that? The Helen Keller?
Oh, I do remember actually. But I didn't go to that either. Yeah, but I honestly for real.
And I needed it. I didn't think I needed glasses back then, but child, I wasn't blind.
I should have. I think I might have gotten a tooth exam when I was like 7. I remember the once. Literally, it was my first and only time going to the dentist, and I hadn't gone again for 11 years. And I'd be thinking about like, I wonder why we didn't. We were getting Medicaid. It was free. why we wasn't going? But anyway, now that I'm an adult and I understand better, I mean, I'm getting it. It's been fixed. Trust me. So y'all ain't no yuck mouth over here, baby.
I know that's right.
You know what I'm saying?
People don't even understand like the smallest things, and I have to explain this to my friends too sometimes. I'm like, the smallest things can trigger bigger things. Like, not flossing can trigger gingivitis and periodontitis.
Not getting a dentist deep cleaning alone. You can, like he was telling me, he was like, I had a little coffee staining, but he was like, honestly, if you just keep coming like you've been coming for your teeth cleaning, it won't never impact your teeth. Period. Say no more.
So I'm like, Deyjah, people breath be stink, and I'm like, you should. I'm like, even something as small as flossing can stop that.
Yeah.
So right. I use the Periodontax toothpaste. I use the I use that one because I don't know. After I read some stuff, I'm like, bleeding gums is not normal. Like, especially it may be a little bit here and there, but it's not like.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, I use that, and then I use I guess it's called Fresh Breath mouthwash.
Okay.
I think, but I use the one that's for periodontitis. I don't want y'all to think I got periodontitis. It's just to prevent it.
Well, honestly, I'm so glad now. Like, as soon as I was able to get medical insurance, I started taking myself to the dentist. And it was so embarrassing. I can't lie when they started telling me all the stuff I needed. But what I would do is whatever the insurance will cover for that year, I get it done. As soon as it reset, get that done. Now I'm almost done. I got 2 more implants. Yeah, I know it sounds bad, y'all, but I'm owning up to what I got going on.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm taking charge, Mama.
You went out here just glowing some fake teeth on top
no, I
ain't
going to Colombia.
Yeah, no,
anyway,
your teeth gonna last a long time because you're taking care of them. So,
period.
But yes, we got a nice little show today. We finna get into some things, okay? So, okay. I'm just playing out.
So I just got this call. My school that I graduated from, Clayton State University, they reached out to me to come in and do an interview about my success post-graduation.
Oh,
yeah.
Look at you.
When you go up there name dropping, they start, we can produce greatness. They're like, oh, wow, our students do go on to have successful careers.
Oh, my God.
But yeah, I'm going to go up there and do a little interview for them tomorrow.
Off. Okay.
Yeah. But,
yeah, I got a lot of little things I want to talk about before we get into our main topic.
Okay, what's good?
Well, I think that did we talk about this before, about the situation with Megan Thee Stallion and her makeup artist?
I don't. The only thing we mentioned about Megan is when we that post for her money bag, but according to her Halloween party, I mean,
yeah, that was a cap.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. I'm like, if it's not from a credible source, I don't really believe it. And
well,
even
I think
then,
that he
sometimes
did. Some credible platforms did report on it, but nobody can. They ain't said nothing, so it's like we all looking stupid waiting on.
In other words, I need to mind my business, and so do everybody else.
Mind yours, yeah.
But so a lot of people have been asking me about how I felt about the situation between Megan Thee Stallion and her makeup artist. Basically, they got into like a social media fight under a picture because he didn't get credited for doing her makeup for the Vogue, her little Vogue video that she did. Now, coming from a makeup artist that has been working in this industry for about 9 years, and I've been working in the actual entertainment industry for 4 to 5 years, like working on videos and working with artists and tours and everything. You know, I'm still learning, and I'm still kind of new compared to the other artists that's been doing this for a long time. I'm still considered new. You know, I'm whatever. But what I've learned is that you're not gonna always get that tag online, and if you got paid for it, they don't owe that to you. And I try to explain that to people because people that are from the outside looking in, they're like, oh, that's not fair because they trying to stop your bag and they don't want to see you grow and all this other stuff, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, honey, that's the same thing with any other person that's on Instagram, because people be looking at people crazy when they say, oh, I don't tag my people if I paid them. Yeah. Like social media influencers, but at the end of the day, that's a platform where like one post and one tag could literally change somebody's life, and it could and for the good. So like you can get hella clients,
or for the bad in this case. But go ahead.
Yeah, you can get hella clients. You can get money, and these are things that companies pay for. Like I'm sure everybody are aware of like Fashion Nova and what is it, Flat Tummy Tea. All these different companies are paying these.
Hattie B's, Hattie Marie's.
I'm gonna just sit back and eat my food. I'm just playing out. But like all those companies and corporations, they pay influencers to promote their brand, and they get paid a lot of money. Like even when I'm not gonna say the name because it's problematic, but I was watching a video on YouTube recently about somebody, and he was explaining to his friend. He was like, "Wait, you posted that for free?" It was like some makeup that he bought, or no, it was like food or something. It was something. He was like, "Well, you posted that for free?" And he was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "That company would have gave you $30,000 for one post." No, he said 300. He said $300,000.
Jesus Christ!
But you see what I'm saying?
Either way, I post for free all the time.
You see how important that is to do that. So if somebody is paying you money, and your name is gonna be credited in whatever publication that it is, that's enough for me. Can't speak for nobody else. Can't speak for nobody else but myself. But that's enough for me. Because at the end of the day, I gotta eat.
Period.
This is why you have to set your prices at a price scale that you're comfortable with. Because if you feel like your prices, if you feel like that, sometimes I feel like when people make those comments and do certain things like that means your prices aren't enough. Because that means you want more. You want something more out of the situation. And I'm speaking from experience because I used to do stuff like that. But anywho, now it's escalated. I mean, after that situation happened, I thought that it could probably blow over and, they could at least be cordial with each other. But he, I guess, kept posting stuff about her, whether it's good or bad. And I just saw so many people just trying to dog Megan out. Like, oh, you could have tagged him. You could have tagged him. Yeah, there's a lot of people that work on her side. Yeah, they don't understand it. But now that it's come out because now that in the headlines are saying that she's threatening to sue him because he signed the NDA. I'm like, now y'all feel stupid because this boy signed the whole NDA. And
what do you think that NDA protects though? Maybe
whenever you work with an artist, I've never had to actually sign one, but when you work closely with people like that, you have to sign those things because you're around them all the time. So you see stuff that they do, like personal things, like say for instance, not to say that this is the case, but what if they did drugs? What if they did certain drugs or
you can't be putting that business out there.
You can't put that business out there. This happened with
Jess Hilarious. I think her sister was putting her business out there and she signed the NDA and they fell out and she started posting pictures from her surgery and everything. And she was like, "What NDA?"
Yeah, she could have got sued for that though. Yeah, like for Jess a lot of money.
Like, what am I sued for?
So it's just like, wow, like you just can't really comment on certain things, and then even with situations like that. Sad to say, everything that's in Hollywood is not real. So that segment that she did for Vogue when, I don't know if a lot of people pay attention to this, but they have like videos on where celebrities come in to do their own makeup on camera. A lot of the times they get help from their makeup artist, or sometimes their makeup artist helps them, or even hairstylists, or whatever the case may be. And if you got paid for it, they don't have to say that you did that.
Right.
And I could have helped her do that. I could have helped her.
Yeah, because she said that that's what always happens. That they
does
do her makeup.
It does. I've witnessed that just from being online. And she always in interviews. If you look at a lot of her interviews, she says that she does her own makeup a lot. But yeah, sometimes that's just a part of the business. Like, you can't just overnight and just want to change the way stuff goes. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how the segment goes, but that's neither here nor there. And it was something else about the situation that I said, oh, I watched the whole video and he was in it doing her makeup. I said, wow.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So, and a lot of people didn't even...
They didn't see it. That's the thing about this clickbait culture, because people are not going back and looking at it. Like the whole Tank situation, people was not going back and listening to the Angela Yee podcast.
I watched the whole thing. That's funny. Thing. And I was like, wow, he's in here in the video doing her makeup. He's with her. And I'm like, so
he should have sat down and ate his food.
Sat down and ate his food. But you know what? That's just that should be a lesson to other people. And hopefully he can come back from this, because I've been there and I understand how that is, especially when you're new and you kind of newer to this industry. I think that he's been doing makeup for a long time, but I don't know if he's never really had an artist that he's went on tour with or just been on the road with and experienced that type of work. From my understanding, I don't really know him like that, so I can't speak for him. But hopefully this is a lesson to other makeup artists that are looking to join this type of industry, and hopefully it's a lesson to him. So that way, when he is able to book another artist or work with somebody else that is willing to take him on the road and do things like that, that he'll go about it differently than what he's doing now.
That's interesting. So I always, from a consumer's perspective, I would always think that whether I'm paying you or not, I want to be tagged. And it's me looking at, like I said, for the outside looking in, because I would think if I did Michelle Obama's makeup, I want Michelle Obama to tag me, because that's going to help me more than me posting her on my page and tagging her.
Yeah.
Whether I paid or not. But I understand that if I paid you, I shouldn't tag you. But I feel like it should be.
No, it ain't that you shouldn't. It's just that you don't have to. Yeah,
right,
yeah.
Right, my bad. But yeah, I just feel like it should be part of the bundle deal. But I wouldn't be calling my person out like on social media about it. It's like, it's not even, at that point. If you were JKing, then be JKing. But that escalated real quick.
Yeah, I don't like how she responded to him. That was kind of like whatever, but she probably felt like, don't try to take full credit for
when you know we
both had hands in it. You know what I'm saying? And she probably was just irritated in the moment. But
she real irritated now. They talking about suing.
Yeah, like you gotta play the right cards when you're doing work for anybody or anything. It was something else I want to talk about. Do you have something?
I wanted to just shout out to the whole Lip Service podcast.
Come on,
I
Lip
went to that
Service.
live show last week and I had so much fun. I was on the front row because, you know, I'm that type of girl. And I was super interactive with them. If this would have been a episode that was getting launched, people would have been like, Alicia, I heard you all to that goddamn episode. Like, I was like, it was fun. Anyway, I got to meet her. I really, like, regardless of what's been going on in the media, I really do love Angela Yee. I do know that the person I love of her right now is not who she used to be. And she has, honestly, from my experience, done a lot of work to clean up the image that she's had before. And she has a very positive perspective from what I've seen. I like what she does. And she really does advocate for women. Like, even stuff on the Breakfast Club that happens and they want to say something crazy, she be like, nope, because she deserves the same. I be like, period.
Oh, wow.
Period, Yee.
Yeah.
And sometimes folks be like, oh, here she go. In the comments, they be like, Angela Yee always try to find a way to make it be about women's rights. Sure do.
And what's wrong with that?
But it do be the most sometimes. It be like, if my son had French fries, well daughters can have French fries.
Oh my God.
So but I still appreciate it because they talk over her a lot in that show. It's a male-dominated industry, yada, yada. Now, granted, a lot of women are thriving in media, but she is a little bit softer spoken. She's little, you know what I'm saying? She's not as popular than Charlamagne, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, I had a lot of fun at that podcast. A lot of people showed up. There was, so Lucci, Trouble, Johnny Blaze, Tokyo Jets, and, I don't remember. Sorry.
But I wish I would have went though. Honestly, it looked fun.
Yeah.
And I've never went to a live podcast. I really want to go to one.
The Friend Zone just sold out. We could have went to that. That would have been cute.
Oh, really?
It's on December 14th. Honestly, I was going to buy tickets, but I have gone to all their live shows, and I just feel like they are great experiences. But I wanted to go see some other podcasts this time around.
I wonder if you can like somehow still get tickets to the Friend Zone thing.
How? Unless somebody get us a ticket. But usually a podcast live shows, they be really small venues. So I don't know. It don't be like
interesting.
Even though Buckhead Theater was probably a similar size. No, it's a little bit bigger. It was a little bit bigger.
Okay.
Anywho,
yesterday I ended up going to I had a rough week last week. Not rough, but it was just a lot going on. I got pulled over twice in 1 week.
Well, you sure did.
And then I had to go to court for another ticket. It was just a lot. Like, it was just bringing me, like, irritation and bad energy. And so, I don't know if you guys have remember me talking about this before, but I went to one of my friends. He's a stretch therapist. And I went to him yesterday, and he suggested that I get sound therapy. So that's what I went and
like
got from
ASMR?
him yesterday. So he uses singing bowls, which are like, I don't know if you guys have seen Janae Aiko. She uses them a lot, but they're like bowls made out of crystal, sometimes metal, and they use like this little mallet type thing, and they just create vibrations and sound.
Oh, that sounds so therapeutic.
Yeah. So he suggested that I do that, and I told him that I have a problem with meditation. I've never been able to successfully meditate before because I always have a lot going on in my head and I just be moving around a lot. And so he did it yesterday for me for about 35 minutes. And when he first started, it was the same. I was just like, I had so much going through my head. And then I had to just like really get to a point where I had to relax my body and just absorb what was going on. And it was really crazy.
Really? In a good way?
In a good way, because I was just able to kind of just like reflect on what I want and what I want to be. You know, what I want for myself, and you know.
That sounds very therapeutic. I can't focus either. I be thinking about like blowing bubbles, riding down the staircase on a cardboard box, backing out of my driveway and into somebody else's. Like, I'll be like, okay, forget this, ain't gonna work. Yeah,
it was good though. It's good for like relaxation, stress, anxiety, chakra balancing. Some people say immune system and blood flow. The way that you have to, he had me laying, it definitely was good for blood flow, because he had me laying on the floor with like a pillow under my knees. So it was like so nice though. But he also did like energy reading on me too. So he was able to just like fill out some things that were going wrong, and everything he said was true. I was just like, how do you even know this?
He said your co-host is trash.
Yes, how did you know? Rats. You knew? I was like, nah. He just was saying that he can tell that, he said that he could tell between my throat chakra and it was something else. He said that I have a problem with expressing myself like verbally and saying no. Oh, I'll say no, but he was just saying like he can tell that I have something, you know. And I hold myself back a lot. He was just calling me out about that, not in a bad way, of course, but he was just telling me that he can feel that, and he was just giving me advice on what I should do and how I should approach situations. And he said I just need to stand firm in who I am. He said I second guess myself a lot, and that's not cool.
Period. At all. He need to come on the show.
I told him that yesterday, because I told him that we were looking for somebody that is that does that type of stuff, but he said he doesn't do tarot reading or like.
Oh, it's okay. We don't need that. I prefer that actually.
Yeah, because he was like, I could suggest you to.
Read.
Yeah, so I told him that he should. He suggested that I go to another guy that if we want to bring a guest on that's good at like tarot readings and all that type of stuff. So he sent me him.
I love a referral.
So I looked on his page. I'm gonna see what it's giving off.
Okay.
But yeah, I just wanted to share the experience I had yesterday. That's all.
That's cute. So yeah. Sorry, is this gonna be a routine thing you do?
Yeah. I feel like I want to do it often, just because like I said, I'm learning to meditate, and because I don't know how, and that I really felt like I was calm. Like the way that I felt when I was laying there, I'm just like, wow. And it's so crazy because I'm the type of person where I'm never able to like, I know this sounds so crazy, but I'm never able to fully go to sleep because my mind is always racing, and I wake up early as like.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
I wake up early as hell every day. And so today I had to wake up anyway because of my alarm. I had to wake up at 6:30. But when I got back home at like 10:30, 10:15, and I literally laid on my bed and I was like, I'm gonna just take a nap. I woke up at 3:00
a.m.
p.m.
Oh wow.
I was and I was in the deepest sleep. Like it wasn't even a nap.
Chakras. Your REM chakra.
So I'm like, what? Like I was just like, I cannot believe that I was that sleep. So I feel like that had something to do with it. Like I definitely feel like I was able to just relax and just, you know, it did feel like a weight got off my shoulder a little bit. So I woke up at like 3:15. I went to sleep at 10. Yeah. I woke up at 3. And mind you, I had already went to sleep last night at like 1:30. So it wasn't like I was lacking sleep. Maybe the weekend caught up with me. I don't know what it was, but I'm guessing that what I had going on yesterday, that definitely helped with my sleep because I was knocked.
How did you feel you woke up? Were you like heavy or was it?
No, I felt normal.
Dang, that's lit.
I felt normal. I felt like just I had a clear mind. I'm just, you know.
Okay. Look at us, 30 minutes in.
So
30 minutes, Shaka.
Yeah. So, we kind of want to talk about something before we get into the main topic today.
Before we get into the crab leg of the...
Yeah, before we get into the crab leg of the gumbo, we want to discuss just I know y'all probably seen in the news today. And before I even bring this up, let me just make a disclaimer that this is not a read. This is not a drag. This is, of course, everybody knows that I'm somewhat affiliated with these people. And, this is almost like my family because we are kind of close, and they definitely helped me catapult my career to where it is today. However, I saw something in the news today that just really bothered me. And I'm like, I texted Alicia and I'm like, I really want to talk about this today on the show, but I just don't want it to be
conflict of interest.
A conflict of interest. But I'm just like, you know what? To be honest, I'm like, shoot, people use their platforms for what they want to use it for, but it's not that I'm maliciously talking about somebody. I just want to make people aware because this isn't cool, or not to me anyway.
Somebody actually texted me today. Was like, "Can y'all talk about this, or is Draco too close for comfort?"
Let's do it.
Okay.
That was me. I'm like, let's just do this. So,
yeah.
I'm sure you guys have heard by now. T.I. has a podcast. What's his name of his podcast?
Expeditiously, but I don't think this happened on his podcast.
It did.
It did?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I was caught up on all the episodes. That's odd.
Hold on. I'm actually about to pull it up so I can give facts. I don't like to be wrong. So, I'm getting this from the Neighborhood Talk. Y'all know that's my favorite blog. The Neighborhood Talk. T.I. admits to going on yearly checkups to the gynecologist with his daughter Deyjah to check her hymen. Most people wouldn't want their father in the room. While they getting spread like a turkey. That's so rude.
Oh my God, that is so disrespectful.
T.I. revealed on his latest episode of his podcast, Ladies Like Us, that's the name of the topic, that when it comes to Deyjah, he wants to ensure that she's still a virgin. And this is his quote. This is what he said. He said, "This is the thing. Deyjah is 18. She just graduated high school, and now she's attending her first year of college, figuring it out for herself. And yes, not only have we had the conversation, we have yearly trips to the gynecologist to check her hymen." So
he was actually on the Ladies Like Us podcast.
Okay. So I didn't know that was a different podcast. Obviously, I don't listen to it.
We do now.
Yeah. So he said that it's this one time we go, and I think this might have been after her 16th birthday. This is what we do. Right after the birthday, we celebrate. Usually, like the day after the party, she enjoys her gifts, put a sticky note on her door. I put a sticky note on her door that says "Gyno tomorrow at 9:30." He explained. It was there that Deyjah had to sign paperwork so that her dad will have access to her private medical records. The doctor informed him that there are other ways to break the hymen, such as riding a horse. And he says, "So I say, look, doc, she don't ride no horses, she don't ride no bikes, she don't play no sports. Just check her hymen, please, and give me back my results expeditiously." What are your thoughts? So, here's the thing. I think that that's just really awkward. Because even at 16 and 17, I feel like you definitely have to be a parent. Be a parent and watch over your kids, make sure they're safe, and make sure you're informing them and educating them on what's going on, especially with a lot of like sex trafficking stuff going on with these kids and college students and high school students. I feel like it is important to be a part of your kids' life, daughters and sons, and just to inform them on a lot of stuff. But I think that sometimes things can be a little bit intrusive because I think that I'm almost sure, and I don't know this for sure, but I'm almost sure he didn't do things like this with his son.
Well, how could he?
You know what I'm saying?
Y'all got to... No, mind.
But I'm saying people...
Like being protective in that way.
Yeah, overly protective in that way where people talk to their sons like, telling them about sex and... What's the word I'm looking for? The C word. Consent. They don't talk. I feel like a lot of men don't talk to their kids about consent with sex, and they only talk about condoms because of STDs and pregnancy.
Do they talk about that? I mean, for real. But
I feel like they do. Just condoms for STDs and pregnancy at the least. But it's so many other things you can talk about with your kids. But I think that this is just really intrusive. Like, this is something that's dealing with her freaking personal life. Yeah. Like,
straight up. Yeah. So when I first saw the headline, I thought it was absurd.
I thought it was a joke. I didn't know it was for real.
Nah, I didn't think it was a joke. Only because of the person that posted it. So this is how I feel. I do think I have some conflicting views. Okay, so number one, I grew up in a very strict household, so something like this actually would not be out of the ordinary. You know what I'm saying? Now, not justifying it, but I do. I was raised by my mother. My daddy was he didn't raise me. And my mother was huge on me not having sex, not protected sex, not be careful who you give your sex to, none of that. Don't have sex. And it would not shock me if I ever found out that she went to look at my pap smear results to see if I was having sex. Now, I don't think I think that I think there are certain scenarios that could possibly warrant this. And it's just my personal opinion. If you have a daughter that you feel like it's been maybe sneaky or it's doing things that against you or whatever the case is, I don't know. I don't know the relationship that Tip and his daughter have. But I can see how him having a concern about her hymen being broken as part of the whatever the case, being inquisitive about that. However, the doctor is right. The hymen can be broken from riding a horse, whatever. I don't even think I was born with one, and that's very possible. You know what I'm saying? So I think stuff like that is insane. So what if she had a situation where she don't have no hymen? So what, you about to punish her because you think she having sex? Like, what you gonna do about that? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I also feel like this is something that her and her mother should be doing together, especially since both of them are in her life. I get it if he was like a single dad raising his child, and this is something he want to be a part of. But she's also 18 years old, so I hope you're not still doing that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that. I mean, I know it's probably easier said than done, but I would hope that at 18 she just would not want him to be a part of that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I just feel like it's very weird hearing it, how I'm hearing it. But I also do want to hear more context about it because I'm like, did something happen? Is that why you saying it, or you like? It just doesn't make sense. Given that it's coming from T.I., I kind of feel like it's exactly what we're hearing. You know what I'm saying?
It's definitely
it's not like this is a shock because I feel like if John Legend was like, yeah, my 14-year-old daughter, when she had her pap smear, I just wanted to make sure their hymen was still intact to make sure that, nothing had been going on. They'd be like, oh, I get it, John. You're a nice dad. But because it's T.I. and he say things very unfiltered, it's like, oh, my God. You know how people can receive things. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is I don't think it's cool, but I also think that I can see why a parent would feel like it's okay because they want to protect their child. But
I can understand that.
They're
but
gonna do what they want to do.
Child, like I feel like when it comes down to stuff like that, that's a little bit too personal. Like, I feel like you can ask them about sex and talk to them about it. Right, and that's how it
should be. If she say no, she's not having it, then let that be what it is. Yeah.
But, I mean, to just go that far and just to be patrolling it, like, basically it just sounds like you patrolling my vagina.
Yeah, and then when you no, for real, and I feel like when she gets older, she's just gonna end up resenting him for being like that.
Yes,
and now she's not gonna want to tell you nothing because you're not gonna know how to handle it. You're not gonna know how to react. It's like, yes, I'm busting it open all over campus. What's good?
Oh my God!
Now what? You created a monster.
Oh my goodness, this is horrible. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't like it, and I agree. So what you doing with your sons? Like, are you getting them tested for STDs? How are you making sure they're not out here making babies and not taking care of them? It's just. I just feel like something like that should not be shared. Number one, especially if you ain't sharing it, having the same energy with your children. Period.
So this brings us to our topic for the day, misogyny. So I decided that I needed to look up the definition of misogyny so that I can, give people an insight because not everybody know what this means. I'm gonna do the I guess this is Wikipedia definition and Urban Dictionary.
Okay, yeah, let's read both of them.
So the first one is the dislike of, contempt for, or ingrained prejudice against women. Okay. Ooh, child.
Chile.
So let me go to the Urban Dictionary definition. The hatred of women, including entrenched prejudice against female kangaroos. What?
Hey, kangaroos lives matter.
Kangaroos? Oh no, I don't think we should read this.
Okay, we can let it
This
ride.
one says Misogyny, a word that feminists use to make men sound like assholes.
Okay, next.
Really?
You can't use the word feminist and then say misogyny and say that, because feminists believe in rights for all women and misogynists do not. Carry on.
Let them know.
Period.
Misogyny, the hatred of women. Basically, that's what it is.
That's what it is. Okay.
At the end of the day. So, what are your thoughts on misogyny? And have you ever experienced?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
So, I don't really want to say misogynists hate women, because I think hate is a strong word. But I do think that people have a bias towards women that they don't even realize, and I think a lot of it comes from society and religious practice. For example, when people say, oh, matter of fact, it's something that T.I. said, apparently, allegedly, that, my wife, I own half her pussy, she own the other half. No, she own the whole thing, baby.
What?
You
said that?
Yeah, this is what I read today. I think this is part of the same interview. Now, I could be wrong, so don't quote me. That's why I said allegedly. But I think things like that are signs of misogyny, or things like, remember a while back, Cam Newton said that thing towards that reporter about knowing about sports, and he was like, you a woman and you talking about this, that's funny to me. No, it's not. I'm a sportscaster. I do my job. This is what I do. Or having a doctor, a man being a doctor and seeing, a man being a patient and having a woman doctor come in, and now all of a sudden they like, you ain't got no man doctor. What's the problem? You know what I'm saying? I'm capable of doing the same job. You don't even believe that I'm capable because I'm a woman, because you see me as inferior or weak or less intelligent. You get what I'm saying?
I definitely think that I'm not a woman, so I don't experience misogyny. But I think that growing up in the South and growing up with the people that I did grow up around, I feel like I've experienced secondhand misogyny. And what I mean by that is just looking at people, because I grew up and I had a lot of female friends. And I've witnessed people say stuff like to women and to my friends that have been just like weird as hell. Like just basically saying like they can't, certain small stuff like can't play certain sports.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Can't wear certain clothes. And I feel like in a way that misogyny can be looked at as similar to like homophobia.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So in a way, I do feel like I identify with it, but I don't never say it out loud just because I don't want people to feel outrage. Like it's child. I don't want people to feel like I'm trying to compare homophobia with women's rights.
Right.
Because it's definitely not the same, but it's definitely some similarities in the two. And it's not right. It's not cool. I feel like we live in a time now where guys are hella offended by everything. Just like I remember when the City Girls first came out. We haven't had any women in the music industry just being unfiltered about how they taking back what's theirs, which is they fucking pussy. And they, same thing how guys just treat them like a piece of meat and just talk to them any kind of way.
Basically doing what the male rappers say they do towards women.
Exactly.
Yeah. You don't like when a cat like that.
They were just like, I can't mess with no girl that listens to the City Girls. And da-da-da-da-da. You're right.
We sound just like John.
You're right. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, like, y'all been doing it for years. Literally. So why now that we're taking back, what the hell is wrong? It's ours. Y'all feel some type of way. That's not fair. You can't own me.
Yeah, but you know what? That's another. I was just thinking. So I was thinking about even the concept of marriage is misogynistic. Like people look at marriage as ownership. Like you are my wife. That's my property. I can do all these things, but you cannot. Even in regular relationships, I just feel like people look at men. Most not mostly men, like most men, but men look at women as a servant per se. Oh, like I know people who have been in relationships or marriages where they doing all the work at the house, they're taking care of the kids, and then the husband get off work. I'm about to take a nap. Yeah, and it's like that's my wife do. I better have food in the stove. My kids better be clean, and I'm about to come back in the house and go to sleep after I just got through doing my thing because I'm the man. I made sure the bills paid. Yeah, my bad. I had the butt lips when I did that.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean. Yeah, but you know what's so crazy too? My mama, growing up in the house with my mama used to do like small stuff like washing dishes and cleaning the kitchen. She would consider that girl job. So she wouldn't.
A lot of people, yeah, I'm pretty sure most people from our parents' generation associate that because that's what they were taught too.
She would tell me like I didn't have to wash the dishes and I didn't have to really clean the kitchen like that.
Yeah.
I would clean the bathroom, I would clean the living room, I would take the trash out, I would do all the other chores, but the kitchen was off limits because that's what girls do.
Now that I think about it, it might have been the same in my household. So when that happens, I always wonder, how do you expect a man to take care of himself? Because he's not going to always be with a woman. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to always have somebody in the house.
To this day, I hate washing dishes. Like,
really? I mean, it makes
I don't
sense.
even. I hate touching them, and I don't even want to touch them. And it's just because growing up, I didn't have to do it. I clean the bathroom in a minute. I clean the living room in a minute. I clean my room in a minute. But it's something about washing dishes. I don't even look at it as a girl's job. I just grew up not really doing it. So I've always looked towards the dishwasher to do it.
Oh, me too. I mean, I like to deep clean dishes a lot, but sometimes, honey, dishwash it up, baby. It's brand new too.
But I've learned that from my friends, like just becoming. I remember my first apartment I got on my own. I ended up living with my boyfriend at the time, and he was somebody who did wash dishes and did do stuff like that. So I learned that from him.
Like how to wash dishes?
Like, not necessarily how to wash them, because it's not like I didn't know how, but
yeah.
I just didn't do them.
The routine of
it.
But,
you know, just him doing a lot. I didn't want him to be the only person doing that, because that's not fair. So I've cleaned the kitchen. That's when I started to realize how important it was. But look at you. At least you
acknowledge that, though. Because some people are, to this day, like I see these threads, and obviously I know people on Twitter just be talking at the bottom of their behind. Half the stuff they be saying that they won't, they don't actually do, or they don't actually deserve. They be talking about how they want to come home to a meal and they want this. Well, what can you do, Pooh?
Yeah.
What can you do? What can you do? Let me tell you something, and this is not even to stunt or brag, but I don't know no men in my friend circle that own homes. You know, and not saying that makes me a better person in general, but they be talking about how, oh, my wife need da. What you got going on?
Yeah.
What you doing, Pooh?
Yeah. To be honest, none of my male friends, like all my female friends, have better credit. Most of them, because whatever. But most of my female friends have way better credit than my male friends. I think straight and gay.
I think that a lot of it is circled around raising women to be the support of a man. So we got to make sure our stuff is in order so we can take care of him, right? So I think about stuff like I remember this tweet a long time ago went viral with this lady, and she was like, I'm raising my daughter to be a wife. Not of this, not of that. And it's like, we are like being taught all these things. Make sure you know how to cook. Make sure your house clean. Make sure you da. So then you find a man who's going to want you. Yeah. And he ain't got to bring nothing to the table. So I feel like that even has a lot to do with gender roles too. It's like they don't even really, like, it's like we are the object and they are the checker router.
This is true. Even with my male friends, and I tell them this all the time, and they don't see the importance in it, but I tell them to learn how to cook.
Please and thanks, because
my mama taught me how to. Now that's one thing that she did do. Like, I definitely stood over my mama in the kitchen and she explained why she did certain things and what she did, about food, the seasons that she used.
I could tell because you be cooking up a storm.
That's what I'm saying. I definitely grew up in the kitchen with my mama, so that was something that I am like proud of, because I definitely cook. But I feel like none of my friends know how to cook besides basic stuff like spaghetti and Alfredo and stuff like that.
I learned how to cook because of the relationship I'm in, because I was like, I gotta step my game up. I used to cook a little bit for my last relationship, but it's complicated. But anyway, but with this one, I'm like, what are we making it out? All making Yeah, I made this all the time.
I just feel like just putting everything on women, it's just terrible. And I even it's certain small stuff that I just enjoy. Like, I enjoy girls that wear like leisure clothes, like sweatpants and t-shirts and sneakers. You know why though? Because I feel like women are held at a high standard, and this is the reason why the surgery rate and everything is high, because men make them feel like that's okay. I've witnessed so many rappers and so many people in these streets just that, like, are obsessed with surgery bodies and that fake body look because they feel like that makes them look rich. That makes them feel like they got a real woman and da 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 da. But what about people that don't want that? What about people that want to look normal? I don't want to be dressed up all the time. Like, of course, I want to be pretty sometimes and I want to look cute, but I don't have to do that all the time.
Oh, I'm a crew neck leggings and Nikes to the death, baby.
That's what I'm saying. But it's some people that feel like they have to be made up every day, makeup,
you're right.
And hair got to be on point
to impress a man. To impress a man. And a man that's going to piss them off later on.
Yeah.
But I think it's just a cycle, and I think that social media definitely perpetuates that because it's like the people with all the followers are the people with those bodies. And that's what's so funny is the ones who are doing that, who are gathering that attention and setting these false expectations are the ones who got the least going on. It's like, sweetie, you know that she's sleeping on the floor, right, in somebody else's house. Now, get it how you live, but they're putting out an image that's not realistic, that they can't even meet themselves. And they really are insecure. And then, insecure is very common, so I can't even chalk it up to that. But they are essentially, like, there are girls with beautiful bodies who will butcher it. I think like K. Michelle.
Yeah.
Her body was beautiful. I'm like, girl, you really got this ginormous fake butt for what? But she said it was insecurity.
Yeah.
And me looking at her like, girl, what insecure? On insecure, I know it's Issa Rae.
But you know what, though? This is why I praise people like Issa Rae and Tracee Ellis Ross, because people always think like, oh, you just with it because they're woke. I'm like, what? Y'all just
really?
love to
Are they
use...
considered woke?
Listen to me. You don't understand how I get drugged from my own friends and people around me because I support women who speak up.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Like, Issa Rae has inspired a lot for me, especially with her, a lot of her speeches at these award shows. She just talks about how, like, she built this shit up on her own. You know what I'm saying? No niggas, money. No drug money, no nothing. And you know what? And she just take her shit. She take it as a go, and she don't sugarcoat anything. She talks about her struggles a lot. She talk about, what she struggled with before and what she got going on now. And I think that transparency is inspiring. And I get a lot of my inspiration from women, like a lot. I'm rarely inspired by men.
We carry this world on our backs.
Yeah, I'm rarely inspired by men. I think this is why I work in the industry that I do. Because I've always just been inspired by women my whole life.
Men low key are inspired by us too, but they bash us in public.
But yeah, they consider those type of people as woke just because of their beliefs and how free spirit they are and how they just don't give a fuck.
So because they're being themselves.
People misuse that word a lot. Yeah. They love it. I guess if you're not following the trend of the sheep on Instagram, and then you are woke and nobody wants to listen to you.
Yeah, well, I'm listening. I love a natural body. I've always gravitated towards those kind of women anyway. Now that I think about it, like Tracee Ellis Ross, I love her.
Yeah, me too.
Like, this lady ain't never been associated with no man in the industry ever. She's single. She talk about it all the time. She just loves being with herself, and I think that's so cool. And to be, sometimes people might have opinions about stuff, but they won't be vocal about it because they don't want to be judged or they don't want people to treat them differently. But she is so free spirited. She does not care. That's what I think. I don't think woke. I think free spirited. I mean, woke is a trendy thing. That's a trendy adjective.
It's so annoying.
Truly being yourself is completely different. Like, I feel like her, Issa Rae, just being unapologetic, not really concerned about the backlash you'll get, and just doing your thing. And those are the people who will thrive and they have the most positive work environments because that's what they pull in. But these girls,
these are role models for people coming up that are young. That it's hard for them to accept themselves for who they are and just realize that you can be yourself in this world and still make money. You can be yourself in this world and still just thrive and be who you are. That's why it's important to have these type of people like Janelle Monáe.
Oh, I love Janelle Monáe. The thing, these guys who don't value women, who call them woke or talk bad on them, is because they know they can't get them. Yeah, it's like you literally know.
I'm too out your league for
real. Because otherwise, if it was the other way around, you'd be shooting your shot. But now you see her as somebody who don't even fit the mold that you think you're supposed to have. Yeah, and that she's actually better than the women you go after. Now you want to talk crazy.
Yeah, I think that, and I could be wrong, but a lot of times when people do get their bodies done, and this, I'm not surgery shaming, but people that live that life, to me, this is how I look at it. You definitely do it to be like appeasing to a man. So, and they know that, so they use that against you.
Yeah, because as soon as they get their booty done, all their pictures on Instagram be booty pictures.
Yeah. Yeah.
Show that long back, sis. I don't show mine, but I'm just saying. No, I agree. But you know what? I can't even blame them for seeking the attention of men, because it's like it's a natural instinct, or women, or whatever the case is. But I think it's natural for us to be attracted to a mate. But I think that people are seeking attention from men that don't even value them. It's like they're trying to convince them, like, hey, I am a good catch. I can do this. Please wife me. I'm better than her. In fact, we'll all be sister wives because I want you so bad that I will compete with you every day because you're going to eventually realize that I'm the better match. When in reality, he don't care about none of y'all. He doing it for the gram. He disrespectful. He probably put his hands on y'all before. He probably disrespected his mama, his grandmama. Don't look out for his kids. It's just not worth it. Now, I don't know where this topic is headed. Are we still on misogyny, or are we just talking about the
women's rights? I mean, at the end of the day, it's about feminism and women's rights. Like, I think I was being a feminist before I even knew what it was. Yeah. Like, I definitely didn't really understand the concept of feminism, and I didn't understand the concept of misogyny or anything like that. But I think that, like I said, I've just always gravitated towards strong women and just women in general because they are inspiring. Everything they do. Oh, yeah.
I mean, obviously, we still been cool because I've been strong.
Yeah. For real. Honestly, yeah.
I know. I'm a boss.
Yeah, I mean, duh.
Okay. Anyway, no. So so back to this tip thing, right? Well, we don't have to be him specifically, but I just think about when you have behavior as public as his, and then the behavior he has in his household, like, what does that set in his daughter's mind on the kind of man she should date? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I feel like when you look at it, he is doing all these precautions to make sure that men don't treat her the way he's treated other women.
Oh.
You get what I'm saying? It's
okay.
like
you woke. Hold on now.
I'm a free spirit, baby.
You went to Twitter University because you know what people love to say on Twitter, which is so true though. But people love to say people are projecting their insecurities.
Yes,
on
oh,
you.
absolutely. And I think a lot of men do the same thing. They so strict on their daughters, because this is how they look at it. Their daughters can get pregnant, and now she's a single parent. Boys can literally get all these girls pregnant and be a deadbeat. We'll never know. I don't never know how many kids my brother got out there. You know what I'm saying? Or they feel like the women are the ones who are taking the fall per se.
Yeah.
And they probably were raised by a single mother, and which should be more reason for them to support women because they see how strong they are. But I feel like he knows what men are capable of because he's that man that he's trying to protect her from. But regardless of that, you are so visible on every platform that she might start looking for that in other men. She don't even realize how negative it is for her. And I don't know, I can't speak on her behalf. She's a young girl, but I'm just saying a lot of times I've seen girls who are dating men that are like their fathers, and not by choice. It's just something they're attracted to because that's what they're used to. They don't even realize until later on, like, that's toxic. That's not good for you. You need somebody who's going to do this for you, do this for you. But they don't think that's realistic or possible, because the man that raised them, who got all this power, ain't doing that to their mama.
Yeah.
So it's like, what? And I think about like, even with the Emily and Fabulous situation, I be thinking, like, I hope G Herbo and Taina, I know they're really young, but I hope that they have a legitimate, clean per se relationship that makes it like non-abusive and things like that. Because I don't know if Taina is Fabulous' daughter.
I don't know. Think so.
She probably is, but I can just imagine the things that they have witnessed that could transpire in her relationship as a young girl. And what he gonna do? Check the dude that put his hands on her? Why? Who? You know what I'm saying? It's like you. That's the example you set. Keep that same energy. Weirdos. Sorry.
All right.
So what about oh, go ahead.
No, what was you going to ask?
What about women?
Okay. Who are misogynist against other women?
Yes, and I don't even know if it's really misogynist, if it's internal. I feel like it is internal. It's internal. I mean, I guess you could say it's just women who also don't believe that women are capable because they have fallen behind with that.
I think that's just solely insecurity from themselves. But that definitely does exist. I witnessed other women
I see it
looking down on other women just because they do certain things, and it's just like, just because you don't do it or you're not comfortable.
Those are called pick-me's. But go ahead.
That's another social media
It
thing.
sure is,
Oh
but
my God.
yeah, I'm with it though. There are a lot of pick-me's that I do this, I do this, I do this, ha ha ha. I'm wifey material. You're not. You're a city girl. Now they think, oh, if I convince this guy that I'm not a city girl, he's gonna wife me, or he's just gonna play with you, city girl. No, he gonna wife the city girl too. You ain't special.
Yeah,
you boring actually.
Honestly, I just think that's fucked up. Like, you don't do that, and then people to treat their kids like that too. They put that on them. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's like at the end of the day, people look down on women that are like strippers and sex workers, all type of stuff like that. But realistically,
I used to be that person.
Me too. For real. Me too.
I did, but honestly, now that I'm an adult, now that I'm way more open minded. How you work is how you work, regardless if it's stripping. You're making legal money. You know what I'm saying?
It's legal, and then you also are, in my opinion, making a bitch out of men, because it's like you are that weak or not. I ain't even gonna say what it is. Kind of weak that you that weak that you would literally pay to see me shake my ass.
But what's crazy?
Pay me thousands of money, thousands of dollars to see me shake my ass.
And then don't even be keeping the lights on at your house with your rib. Yeah, I think that, that's funny. Because you know what? Honestly, strippers have the power.
They got
and
power.
The patrons do not. But it's funny, these same patrons, when they leave there, they take that's why they be trying to wipe these strippers. Strippers don't be going for it.
Yeah.
My money.
I ain't going. That's one of my new favorites. Man.
I ain't going. Yeah, I hate it here. I hate it here.
I ain't going.
Yeah, I used to, and I also was very close-minded to the term sex worker. I only associated it with prostitute when that's not the case. Sex work is being sexual for money. Do your thing, sis. Yeah. That ain't none of my business. It's literally none of my business. Yeah. Like, I feel like I think about stuff when I see certain platforms or people, or I listen to a podcast and the girl's talking about herself and they love her and they're like, yeah, I strip. Oh, word? What's the difference? Yeah. Now you don't like her? What changed?
Let me tell you something. Some people, some of the biggest and the richest people have been strippers first. Period. Before they did that. You know what I'm saying?
It's a sport. It's an extreme sport.
I was watching something on Twitter that Ari Lennox has said when she had a live and she was just talking about strippers and she was saying how like strong of women they are. She was like, because she can't see herself standing in front of people, shaking her ass on a pole and doing other stuff. Like, it takes a lot of courage for people to do that.
Body gotta be tight. You gotta be acrobatic. Cheerleaders could never.
Child, you don't even have to do all that. You just have to have confidence. No, and yourself, right. It takes a different type of confidence and a different type of respect for yourself to be a stripper or a sex worker.
You're right. You absolutely right. I'm not hating. I don't give a darn. Do your thing.
Yeah.
I do think that there are risks involved that I want them to protect themselves. Yeah. But, it comes with the territory. Fast money ain't always the easiest money to make. So.
Whatever. So yeah,
you looking slam over there. Your stomach deteriorating.
This is I just drank the juice.
Oh, okay. You farting too? Yes.
Nah. Yeah, I just started. I know I talked about it in the beginning, but I just started. I feel like I'm always on a diet. I'm gonna stop talking about it.
Me too.
Because I feel like I'm embarrassing myself.
Just say you change the way you eat.
I'm actually just trying this out though. I want to eat fish. I can't stay away from crab legs and shrimp and fish.
Oh, I love seafood so much.
So I do too. So I'm like, you know what? What I'll do is just eliminate the major carbs. So just white veggies and I use a lot of red onion instead of white onion. No potatoes, no corn.
Really?
No bread.
What's wrong with corn?
Corn literally has no nutritional value at all. It's just pointless of eating, and it doesn't digest.
It sure doesn't.
So
is it real?
I doubt it. Because it legit... broccoli isn't, but it does have fiber in it. That's why you fart a lot when you eat it. I mean, that's too... I mean, we grown shit.
Whatever. I passed gas twice while we recorded, but y'all ain't gonna hear it. On soul, and we got a candle lit. What's good?
But yeah, like... I feel like I need that. I was about to go skating. I ain't gonna make it though because I just looked at my GPS. It says it's gonna take me 50 minutes, and the class started at 7, so I ain't going. But that was gonna be my cardio for today. But I'll probably just go to the gym tonight.
Dang, you lit. We didn't. Wait, are we wrapped up on the topic?
We can. I mean, if you got final words you want to say
I
about
just feel like, listen, don't because treat women just as equally as you would treat a man. Okay, we have private areas that we are subject to, just like y'all are. If you have a daughter, don't make her feel like she is. I want to make sure I'm saying this correctly. Keep that same energy amongst your sons and your daughters. Period.
Keep that same energy between your sons and your daughters. And also, don't overly police your kids' private areas.
Yeah.
Don't over police women, period.
After you start changing their pampers and they start being potty trained, that's it.
Yeah, let it go.
Let it go.
You know what I'm saying? Unless it's something else going on. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's whatever that we're missing. But in general, just let women and young adults do what they do. You know what I'm saying? Whether you want them to do it or not, they're going to do it. Just at the end of the day, mind your damn business.
You're right, though. Honestly.
Because I always tell people, I'm like, just because your parents are strict, or say for instance, you should know, your mama was strict, but I'm pretty sure you still did some stuff.
You know what, though? So I didn't until prom hit. When that era hit, I learned how. No, that's not true. Until I started working a job. And I had a reason to leave the house. And I didn't like, because usually they'd be like, oh, you protected too much, she's going to be real wild. I won't say that I was wild, but I definitely started to realize that it was smoke and mirrors. I'm like, okay, girl. You know what I'm saying? Type stuff. I'm like, I'm just going to figure it out and learn for myself. Because I feel like I wasn't really given, you know how you punish a kid, you want to say, hey. So kids would be like, okay, for example, like with my sister and and my nephew, she'll be like, just tell me you did it. I'm going to be more mad that you lied to me than you did that. You know what I'm saying? So teaching the kid honesty. But for me, when it came to sexuality and my body, it was just like, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. I'm like, well, why not? What I do? What I do besides take a shower and do homework? I really grew up thinking that if a guy wanted to have sex with me before marriage, then I just couldn't be with him.
Really?
That didn't really work out. But yeah, it was that intense, and there were things that happened that I saw that I'm just like, there's no way what she's telling me is true. Like, how come you could? So anyway, I just feel like if you are gonna discipline a child or try to protect them from certain things, it needs to be on a mature level, because your child is going to grow into an adult, and they need to understand these lessons. You don't want them learning the hard way from nothing.
Deyjah, if you're listening, I love you. I love you, Deyjah.
Before we wrap up, we got 2 voicemails from the Paranormal Activity episode.
Let go. Let me see. Go ahead.
So they both are from the same person. She had 2 different stories, but let me tell you something. I said, girl, I should listen to these in the morning. So y'all, we got a lot of freaking feedback from that Paranormal Activity, y'all. Because of y'all, I bought a security system. Shout out to Kelsey and Louise. Appreciate y'all for getting on me. So my system should be installed or whatever. I didn't get the suggestions that they told me. I got another one, but
it's okay.
Yeah,
I wonder which one we got. I love it. The only thing I don't like about our security system at home is that it freezes. But even when it does freeze, it still works.
Yeah, like it's freeze still, like what? Like you can't
when I'm leaving the house, I just cut the alarm on, and then the system will freeze. Like it just won't move. But then when I come in the house, it'll be set off.
Okay.
So it still works, but it just freezes sometimes.
I got the Simply Safe system, which is just a little trendy company. But anywho, so these voicemails are from Randy from the Black Millennial Marriage Podcast. Y'all, I love this podcast, and not because I know them, but because it is genuinely a great podcast. I'm not kidding. I'm not flexing. Even as a non-married person, there's so much I have learned from them. Even when I be thinking I know everything, I don't. Okay? So anyway, let me play the first one.
She don't know how to work it.
Shut up.
Hey, Alicia and Draco. This is Randy. I just listened to this Paranormal Activity episode while I was washing drawers here and stuff. And, oh my God, it was a good episode. Thank y'all for sharing your stories. I just have a lot, but I know this thing only give me 3 minutes. So, basically, my mom used to have this house in Stockbridge that we all used to stay in. And something was up with the house. We rented it out, we were renters. And something was always going on in my room. I'd be asleep, and it felt like somebody had punched me in my shoulder. I would leave my room to go downstairs and eat, come back and my door would be locked. And this happened very frequently. And at one point, after I felt like I was knocked out, I woke up because it literally felt like somebody punched the shit out of my shoulder. Once that happened, I started sleeping between my brother and sister's room. My brother at the time, he's 7 years younger than us, so he just like let me take his bed. Trophy. And then we all moved to my sister's room, and so my mom got so pissed because she brought this with these 3 bedrooms, and we all ended up together. I was too scared. Wow. And then she downsized. So yeah, that is just one of the few stories that we have. Our family is real big on, like, we always have these types of experiences. So I believe your stories, and thank you all for sharing. It was a good episode. Talk to you later. Bye.
Wow.
Okay, so
abusive ghosts.
I ain't with it. I ain't with it.
That made me feel like I need to pay more attention to what's going on in my house, because I think I talked about it on that episode. I definitely experience, like, in this new house, I hear stuff, but also, like I said, we have a lot of trees and we have a lot of animals. I seen a snake, an owl, we have chipmunks, we have like hella chipmunks in front of my yard, and squirrels. So they're always moving around. But so I just assume that it's something like that. But
I've heard of people having a lot of scratches.
I've heard that too.
Yeah. That's scary. Well, she left a second voicemail, and this one sent me, honey. I was like, okay, I'm about to go to a hotel.
Oh, my God.
Hey again, y'all. It's Randy. Y'all can pick which story you want to tell. I feel like Drew crying in the background threw my vibe off. She was hungry, and now she's staying quiet. Anyway, I have another story. So the first house we moved into after we moved out of my grandfather's house was a house in Lithonia, and it was fine. Nothing like creepy going on. But one night I was asleep, and I was having a dream. I was a doctor, and I was like knowing stuff that I do not know now. Like, it was so weird. And then I started to hear music, and I turned around in my dream like, do y'all hear this music playing? And they were like, no, what are you talking about? Like, my subconscious was starting to realize that I was waking up, and so, like, the people in the dream were, like, starting to fade away. I can't explain it. Anyway, I wake up in real life because I'm hearing this music as if it's playing in the real world, like, in the room. And I shared the room with my sister, and I opened my eyes, and there was something sitting on my bed. Mm-hmm. I shit you not. There was something sitting on my bed, and I screamed. It was a black figure, and it looked like it had a hat on, like one of those church hats. And it just looked, it with long hair, it was just black figure, which is like a shadow. And I screamed, and and it like went away, but I saw the compression on my bed was still like, as if somebody was sitting there. Y'all, when I tell you, I woke up, I turned on all the lights in the room. My sister was asleep. She was looking like she was turning gray. I was like, you know what? I listened to gospel music from the moment I woke up till 6 a.m. It was time to go to school. I did not sleep that night. I was like, you know what? Kirk Franklin it out. I can't do it. But that was the only experience I had in that house, and I've never been able to forget it. It was so real, and I would never be able to forget that compression on my bed. Somebody was sitting there, and it was crazy. But again, great episode. Thank y'all for like just doing it. It was a lot of fun to listen to. And talk to you later. Bye.
Whoa.
I text her. I said, hold on, what I said? I said, oh my God, I should have played these early in the day. She said, my bad, I should have put a disclaimer. I was like, oh. You know, and mind you, I don't sing stuff that was just as crazy, but I was like,
the music in the bed. Like,
I used to play gospel music too when I had those feelings. Or I would sing it all the time, and it would stop because when I was growing up in church, they used to always say, if you say Jesus' name, it'll scare the devil away. And shoot, it worked when I did it. But yes, thank you so much, Randy, for leaving us a voicemail and actually participating.
That is crazy.
As a fellow podcaster, I'm sure you understand the importance of having an interactive audience. So I appreciate that for taking that step. And all those who have sent text messages and things of that nature.
Yeah. With that being said, you guys should leave us feedback on this topic because it's a lot of stuff that me personally that I'm still learning about. And I would love for people to educate me on a lot of stuff.
Me too, because I know sometimes I have the right thoughts, but I can't say it properly. And because we're on a podcast and this can be replayed and reshared, things can be chopped and be misconstrued. And that is never my intention. And I'm learning right along with the rest of y'all, but I would like to be well versed on these type of topics so I can make sure I'm sharing the right information.
Pull up with some info. Pull up with the facts,
pull up
honey.
With
we
the
need
knowledge,
facts only.
like it's college.
I respect opinions as well, but I just, I would rather you hit us with the facts. FAX machine.
Yeah, no, I agree. But our phone number is 470-344-4593. This is a voicemail only number, so don't worry. I won't answer when you call. But you can
Let me
send
repeat
a
it
text
again in
message
case you ain't hear me.
and a voicemail 470-344-4593. Preach.
Okay.
Anything you got going on, Pooh, that you need to share with the world?
Nah.
I'm not gonna lie, it's coming out on Thursday. Cause
that's cool.
Me can't do that. Might need to be our new release day because I be working from home. The next thing you know, I'm gonna start working from home on Wednesday. So we just gonna keep it Wednesday. But yeah, I don't really have nothing going on. Truth be told, I really need to get my diet together. But that's neither here nor there. We need to get a nutritionist up in so they can check me.
I'm with that.
Okay, what's another episode of OD Podcast, y'all?
Yes, God.
Holla at your girl.
Holla at your curl, honey.
Holla at your world.
Oh, holla
Holla
at your
burl.
Yes, bye.